Start with a small practice. I mean a very small practice. Start in the quality management domain, and then connect a rigorous philosophy of quality management to collaborative spirit. Three suggestions. If you like our approach of offering practical and pragmatic suggestions about what you can do immediately through the KSP videos, then please like or subscribe. Oh, I don't know, forward it to a friend. That's cool too. And if there are any topics that you think we might not cover unless you bring it to our attention, or you think we should cover sooner rather than later, don't hesitate to holler. Don't hesitate to holler. My contact information is always at the end of the videos, and I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, so let's get started. Instead of introducing each and every one of the key success parameters separately, we thought we would take a leaf from our own book and talk about the way that the different key success parameters actually interconnect. And one of my favorite places where the key success parameters connect is with rigorous quality and collaborative spirit. Okay, now this is based on the philosophy that we do not consider rigorous quality management to be a punishment field, just so you know. And we don't consider collaborative spirit to be one of those situations where everybody asks to be virtually holding hands with each other and chanting or singing together. That's not what we mean either. In fact, rigorous quality management speaks to understanding the quantifiable metrics of success. In other words, once we deliver whatever it is that we're going to deliver, how are you going to know that we are successful? And for those of you who think that I must have missed the boat on that whole agile thing, keep in mind, I'm talking about the measurable signs of success, quantifiable metrics that say, yes, we have been successful. Whether your quantifiable metric is 10% more market share based on the last data gathered by your team for the last fiscal year, or 5 more likes on the company's YouTube channel. I don't know. I don't know what your clients' quantifiable metrics are for success. And frankly, unless you've asked them, they've articulated it, and you kind of gently make sure it hasn't changed, you don't either. So start with a small practice, a small but very important practice. Get quantifiable metrics for successful completion. Now, remember, for a lot of people, there's scar tissue around the whole topic of quality management. And I get it. It's up to you as a leader to help establish a team culture that talks about rigorous quality, not as a punishment field, but instead as a philosophy that nothing but our best efforts at achieving what our client wants is acceptable. And that leads us to collaborative spirit. You see, collaborative spirit takes it one step further than cooperation. When it comes to cooperation, that's great. Don't get me wrong. I think it's wonderful. Collaboration means there's an element of proactive involvement. Let me give you an example. Cooperation is if I have received a change order and it's affected the deliverable that I'm now going to hand off to Ron. As I hand off the deliverable to Ron, I will let him know what that change was. That's cooperation. Collaboration would be, I get the change order, I'm still working in my deliverable, and I call Ron and say, hey, I just received this change order, and I'm I'm really considering a couple of different ways that I could address that. Can we have a chat so that you and I can figure out which way is going to make the most sense? Which option here is going to make the most sense, because it's going to affect both of us. See the difference there? A small element of proactive involvement with your colleagues and collaborative spirit connect. Well, to a certain extent, it can be very simple. They connect because when the team has bought into the concept that nothing short of their best can be delivered to the client, it builds the seeds of collaborative spirit into your team culture. We're very fond of saying it, mostly because it's true. A culture exists in your team. It was born, it's gotten stronger, and it exists in your team whether or not you make any choices about what that culture includes and what that culture is made up of. The question is it a culture that you feel is productive, is healthy, and helps your team members to deliver the strongest performance they possibly can? Or is it not? The thing is, you can lead by example, and that is always wonderful. Don't get me wrong, that's always wonderful. However, leading by example and invitation means that you're not the only person who is trying to build a team culture that includes a spirit of collaborating with their fellows to deliver the absolute best, regardless of which domain any single person is responsible for. Thinking of the team as an organism that has multiple different folks responsible for multiple different areas is a whole different ballgame. In my team, we have Vicky responsible for one thing, and Tanita responsible for another, and Ron responsible for another. And I've got a few things I'm supposed to take care of also. But working together as a team means that whatever it is that we put out there into the world is a little bit stronger, a little bit clearer, and a lot more representative of the best that we're trying to bring to the table. So, start with a clear idea of what rigorous quality means by choosing one small practice. 2, discuss what rigorous quality really kind of isn't, so that you can be very clear about that with your team. This is not a punishment field, and you don't intend to make it one. And 3, talk about what combining a perspective of rigorous quality and collaborative spirit together can do to help you deliver your best to your client. Speaking of which, if you have any comments or suggestions, please don't hesitate to send them along to me, because you're our client. And our quantifiable measure of success is when you feel that this is valuable enough or enjoyable enough to learn with, that you forward it on, like, or subscribe. I'm Kimi Tuzimski, and this video was brought to you by Leadership Driven Project Management Academy. We have a group on Facebook, and please look us up. Join us. Thanks.